In this lesson, we'll look at using virus and threat protection in the Windows Security app. Let's open the Windows Security app and we're going to select Virus and Threat Protection. Now, unless you've installed some other antivirus software, Windows Security will use Windows Defender antivirus to provide virus and threat protection. Windows Defender is 10 years old already, and while it used to have its own application interface, all of the settings for Defender are now integrated into the Windows Security app. Windows Defender has been considered for many years to be better than nothing, with several paid-for antivirus applications generally scoring higher in most unbiased comparisons of protection. In the last year, Defender has really improved in these comparisons, earning some top recommendations as a solid antivirus solution. Let's look at the tools included in virus and threat protection. Now here we see current threats, and this shows my device's status right now based on the last scan results. I can manually launch a quick scan right now using this button. Now this is an abbreviated scan. It targets the most likely areas that could have issues, and this is a good idea if you see some odd behavior, but you don't have time for a full scan. A full scan can actually take an hour or more, depending on how much storage and how many files and folders have to be scanned. Select Scan Options to make changes to the type of manual scan you'd like to run. A full scan will look at everything, and a custom scan will open the File Explorer so that you can navigate to and select a folder that you would like to scan. The last option is a Windows Defender offline scan. Now this is a great tool. It'll reboot your device, it'll run a virus and threat scan before Windows starts up. Now this is a much more effective type of scan, because some of the more aggressive types of malware can avoid scans once Windows is running. Select the type of scan you wish to perform, and select Scan Now. Now back at the previous screen, we can also review our protection history. Viruses that were detected and the actions that were taken to protect your device will show up here. Virus and threat protection settings include several switches. Real-time protection should be enabled. If you need to temporarily turn off protection, use the switch to disable it. After a few minutes, it will turn itself back on. The next two switches allow some more background updates for virus definitions and sample submissions. Tamper protection will prevent other apps that attempt to disable or turn off real-time protection. Now we also have some links here. Let's start at the bottom with notifications. Now this link will take us to a portion of the settings for the Windows Security app, which we looked at in another lesson. And it lets us modify, of course, how the notifications come to us based on events. Exclusions let you point to or select files, folders, file types, and processes that we would like to be excluded from virus scans. Now, you normally would not need to add exclusions. However, some people do work with applications and processes that could be seen as dangerous on a device. These could be quarantined or deleted during a scan, so using exclusion will let Windows Defender know to ignore them during scans. The last link here is Controlled Folder Access, which actually takes us to a setting related to ransomware protection. Now, if we select Virus and Threat Protection, we can also get to the same setting by selecting Manage Ransomware Protection. Now, this is really a great tool. Now, we've all heard reports of ransomware, and the way it generally works is that files or folders are encrypted, which is a change to that file or folder. And the encryption key to unlock this encrypted file or folder is only made available after money is paid to the hackers that gained access to our device. Now, enabling this protection will prevent unauthorized changes to some of the default folders on our device. We can also add or select additional folders we would like to be protected in this way. Now, this would allow us to protect family photos, documents, business records, just to give you some examples. Select protected folders to see the locations that are protected by default. And here we can select Add a Protected Folder to include additional locations. There's also the option to allow an app through Controlled Folder Access. Here we can select an installed app to permit that app to make changes to the folder contents. Notice that Microsoft considers some apps as friendly, and they'll be permitted to make changes. We don't need to add them to this list. So the real target for this type of protection is from apps that try to make changes to files in an unexpected way, or apps that are not considered known, friendly, and trusted. Now by default, it's not enabled on most devices, so this would be a good feature to enable. The last area we'll look at here is the updates. Now for virus protection to be effective, it really needs to be up to date. You can see here when the app last received updates, and if this shows a date that's more than 24 hours old, you should investigate. Obviously, an internet connection is needed for virus updates to be received, And at any time while you're connected, you can select the link here to check for updates to manually pull down the latest definitions. In this lesson, we've looked at the built-in tools included for virus and threat protection in the Windows Security app. Thank you for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next lesson.